Show me something.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And today I showed the boys the album by Rex Orange County, Apricot Princess from 2017. I started listening to Rex Orange County like only last year, actually, is when I found him. And it wasn't from Tyler, the Creator, Will. It was it was because I was listening to Olivia Rodrigo's album Sour that came out last year, and just after it, you know how Spotify just like plays random music. One of his singles played afterwards, and I was like, that's pretty good. And I added it to one of my playlists, and I just kept going back to it. So then a little bit later in the year, I just started like listening to all of his albums and was just getting a feel of it. And this is the one that really stuck with me. This is by far my favorite album by him. So I felt like I should show you guys and see what you guys thought. So
Cool.
How have you guys been though? That was a long intro, but we got any housekeeping or anything?
Will, do you want to start? I don't know. Do you have anything?
Yeah. Nothing too crazy. I saw Batman yesterday.
Nice. Did you see it still?
First movie in IMAX probably since I think like the Hateful Eight Roadshow, like 90 millimeter showing or something like that. So that was, I don't know, 6 years ago. IMAX is so cool.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw IMAX.
Dude,
I think I saw Star Wars in IMAX. One of the most recent Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
IMAX.
That's unfortunate because those movies suck. But
it still looked real pretty in IMAX.
Yeah,
man.
that's fair. Yeah, my whole ass was shaking the entire time. Like, it's just like the speakers are so fucking loud. I was in the back of the theater too, so like right in between those giant like wall-mounted enormous speakers. But yeah, I liked Batman. It was fun. Curious to hear y'all's thoughts once you see it. I watched the new Spider-Man. Riss and I watched that Tuesday night, which was also fun. Yeah, that's really it, honestly. I'm about 20 hours into Elden Ring. I'm enjoying it. It's not a game I can play for very long at a time. I just get too frustrated, even though I know that's the whole point. It's not even that it's hard. It's just like I'm not always in the mood to grind the same enemy over and over. Like sometimes at the end of the day, I'm just fucking wiped out. I want to do something easy. Like with Tarkov, I think the fun part is that I can just do like bullshit runs that are meaningless. Whereas in Elden Ring, it's always like very high stress. So
High stakes.
Yeah, high stakes. So I've been playing it in pieces. It's definitely wonderful though. And I think you both would probably enjoy it. But obviously Jacob will wait for it to be on sale, and Trevor will maybe play it at some point. But
I've never played any.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm waiting on the PC version to get completely fixed, and I'm going through the Batman Arkham games right now. So when I actually am done with those,
yeah,
I'll see.
Have you played those before, Trev?
I played if I didn't beat it, I played most of Arkham City.
That's the best one.
Which I enjoyed. I played that back. I think I borrowed it from a friend and I played it on my 360. But I never played the original Arkham Asylum, and I didn't play Arkham Knight, which I think was the one that comes after City, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the third one.
So I haven't played those two, and I could go through playing City again. I remember enjoying it. So
yeah, City is, I think, the best one.
I'm most of the way through the first one right now.
Yeah, I remember liking Asylum. It's definitely more self-contained. Like, it's not open world, really, right? It's like it all takes place in the asylum, so I think it benefits from that.
It's like you got the overworld within a series of linear levels, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
Right on.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played any of that studio's games. Is what I was going to say.
From Software.
Yeah. They seem too hard for me.
I played.
Yeah, I think
Dark Souls. I think it was either Dark Souls. I think it was Dark Souls 1 a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is not bad. I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
So, and then I kind of left
punishing.
it. Yeah.
Bloodborne is the only one I've played, and I didn't even beat that game. But
I think Bloodborne is the one I want to play the most, but I can't because it's PlayStation.
It's also it's not very well optimized for PlayStation. Like it still runs like at 30 FPS and barely hits 30 like the entire game.
Oh yeah, I remember when that game launched. Didn't like each loading screen take like a half hour almost or something crazy?
I don't know about that. That sounds.
It
like
was
PC
insane.
Exaggeration. But
Regardless, it was like an insane
like
load time when it first came out. I remember hearing.
Yeah, it's definitely fun though, and I do think Elden Ring is probably the best entry point. Although maybe not actually. I don't know. It's fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Trev and I hung out last weekend with Reyes. We went to a new brewery that's a walking distance from our house, which is really wonderful.
It was a good time.
Shout out to the Brutalist.
And we played.
And we're doing D&D tomorrow. We played some Catan.
We played Catan last time. Yeah, we're playing D&D tomorrow. I'm very excited.
First Catan intro for Riss and myself. Very fun game.
And me. Yeah. Well, not really.
Yeah, you played it once, right? Before.
Once or twice online before. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, D&D tomorrow. We're finally getting into Trevor's homebrew stuff. Yeah. So we're all excited about that.
Looking forward to it.
It's gonna be very fun. Hopefully, I hope it. This is like
we all just hate it.
I'm like nervous all over again. Like I was nervous the first time I ran for you guys, and then you guys liked it, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm not as nervous anymore. But now we're like out of the pre-built and into my stuff. We're like now I'm nervous all over again because if you guys hate it, it's entirely my fault. So there's nothing I can. I know you're not gonna hate it, but if you don't have fun, then it's on me more than anything.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna go out of my way not to have fun, Trevor.
Well,
I'm gonna be grumpy.
I guess my turn I don't have much housekeeping, really. I don't have to move. I don't know if I mentioned that in the podcast.
Hell yeah.
At any point that I might be moving, but I don't have to move. So I get, for another year, everyone's going to get to see this exact background unless I decide to bother with my green screen, which I never bother with.
Also, same. We just extended our lease a year here, so
nice.
Same.
Oh, and I'm drinking Corona out of this amazing Gurren Lagann mug that Will and Marissa got me for Christmas.
Damn.
That we just 2 weeks ago exchanged Christmas gifts finally.
Little late.
Listen,
little late.
It took a while.
Hey, happy St. Patty's Day, by the way, guys.
Yeah, at the time of recording. Don't know when it'll come out, but whenever.
Neither do I, and I'm the one that puts it out. Yeah.
Oh,
I have no idea.
The mouse was on the screen this whole time. Yeah, that's gonna be sad. But
that's okay.
I'm not gonna get rid of it. It's staying. I'm gonna put a big circle around it the whole time. I'm gonna highlight it until you remove it.
To catch everybody up on my Marvel watching, I finished WandaVision since last time recording. I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I finished watching Loki. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was dog, which is what I was worried about, and it was just not good. It was just not.
It's not great.
It's not good.
It was so boring. It was just did not matter. It was just.
It's a slog.
It's so skippable. It's crazy. Yeah, not a fun watch. WandaVision was great. Loved it. Loved the end. Everything was really fun. All the Scarlet Witch stuff was cool. And then Loki was also really cool. The last episode was okay. I think that the rest of the series is super strong too, which is it's a shame. But I guess there's gonna be a season 2 for that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. So there's no way they won't.
So that'll be cool. But yeah, out of the 3, I think WandaVision is still my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the next thing I have to watch is the Black Widow movie, so I can finally watch movies again. I mean, I've been watching other movies in the meantime, but they've just been random ass movies,
Anything good?
We watched a really terrible movie. We watched My Dinner with Andre, which is a historical film that people are like, this is a
people
movie.
Love that movie. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hated it. It was terrible.
You should watch the Community episode that they that's a reference to that.
Abby was talking about it. She likes that episode a lot.
It's a good episode. My Dinner with Abed.
Yeah, but the movie was just so boring and pretentious. Just 2 fucking aristocratic, snobby New York men talking about how their life could be better if you just went out into the wilderness, but they needed money anyway to go do that. And so it's just like, fuck those guys. Or just the one guy in particular.
It's
Andre.
Inconceivable guy from Princess Bride.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it Wallace Shawn? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the other, because it's Wally, he's Wally, and then the other dude is Andre, which that guy looks incredibly like Abby's dad, which is crazy. Like, he looks like almost just like him. She sent a picture of him to her dad, and they were like, whoa.
Andre Gregory is the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know him.
But yeah, didn't enjoy it. Boring.
That's a bummer. Good to know, though. I won't ever watch it, so...
Well,
but you know what wasn't
if you
boring?
want to sit there for an hour and a half
Damn it.
and just a bunch of conversation doesn't matter, go for it.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And you know what wasn't boring?
Oh,
This album.
nice.
Wow, look at Trevor being a fucking transition man.
Trevor's
You guys
become the
interrupted
goat
it the
at
first time,
podcasting.
so I had to try again.
We interrupted? I don't even hear
I
you
did.
try to say it. Oh.
That's
It was an accident.
So
But yeah,
okay.
what did you guys think? Who goes first?
Yeah.
Will
I think
goes
I
first.
do, right? I'm next,
Yeah.
so yeah, for sure. It's a good album. I like it. I don't know anything about Rex Orange County beyond his work with Tyler, as Jacob alluded to. So I listened to this a lot last week as we were preparing to record for it, and then I kind of took a break from it for the last few days just to give myself some room, and then revisited it today a few times. I've listened to it enough times that I've lost count.
Nice.
So I would say probably at least 10 times I've listened to it in various settings. I've done it on walks. I've done it while working, while driving, while like doing the dishes and making coffee. So it's been like around, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think the instrumentation and the music is probably like an 8.5 or a 9 for me, but I do think it's hindered by his voice and his songwriting at times. I don't love his voice. That's definitely going to be a personal thing. And there are times that I think I enjoy his voice more than others, but I think the music is like really strong, and I think his singing and songwriting is good, but not like amazing. So I can definitely see the benefit of having him as a collaborator in terms of him making the music for somebody like Tyler. I'm sure he's made other stuff for people too, either written or produced, because his instrumentation is like just gorgeous. It's really varied and lush and surprising and kind of genre bending. There's like lots of different types of music that are kind of reference points in this album. And I've made a conscious decision not to read anything about it or go listen to his other stuff, which I am looking forward to and like I'm excited to do, but I didn't want to taint my thoughts about this album before we talked about it, because I don't know, will I like his other stuff more or less? If I read people's opinions about the album, will I like it more or less? Probably, because I'm easily impressionable, but in a vacuum, this is a really cool album, and I'm glad I listened to it. I would probably say I waffle between like a 7.5 and an 8. There are some aspects of, again, the singing and songwriting that I really don't like that we'll get into. But yeah, it's definitely really cool. Also didn't know he was English until like my third or fourth listen. So that's always fun.
I didn't either when I first started listening to him.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't know anything about him. I didn't even know if it was just one dude or if it was a collective or anything,
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't really know.
It's just the guy. It's just one
It is
guy.
just him. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because now that you say that he's English, it makes sense, but I'm like not surprised by it, where I'm like, yeah, I totally knew he was English. But when I think about it, I'm like, I never actually thought he was English the entire time. I just
there's only one moment where his accent is legible, and it's when he's doing like his like singing, like talk rapping type of thing.
I don't think I ever just associated any nationality with him. Actually, it was just person.
Yeah. Only just because of accent. Only because of accent.
No, that's fine. Like nothing wrong. Like I just realized I don't think I've ever done that where I'm like, oh yeah, this is American person as like a default. It was literally just person.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I also it still blows my mind that people who aren't from America don't have an accent when they're singing. Like, it's just such a weird thing to me. Like, you can't tell an English accent when they're singing. Like, you just can't.
Yeah.
It's like what? Like Adele?
I think
has
it
an English
Adele.
accent?
I think it depends on who it is, though. Still, but I think most of the
Really?
time, yeah, they don't. You can't hear an accent at all.
I feel like it's I can't think of a single example of somebody who's I could tell they're English. Coldplay, Sade, Adele,
What about
the Rolling Stones, the Beatles.
I'm trying to think. Let's see.
I don't think it's a thing. Like, you really can't tell. I would love to be proven wrong in the comments. Listeners, please tag me in people who have accents and they're singing. You can tell, but like at least for an English accent, I can't tell. Maybe if it's a second language thing, then it's different. But anyway, that's a long section. I'll say 8 out of 10. Yeah, great album. Happy to have listened to it and excited to dig into the rest of his stuff,
Nice.
which I'll report back on.
Yeah, for sure. Trave.
I also enjoyed the album.
Nice.
It was cool. I did like his singing voice, to be fair. I thought it was a different kind of, I don't know, I just enjoyed it, I guess. Had a good time with it. I listened to it not as many times as Will, probably 5 maybe, I want to say. Most of which were in my car on my way to and like from work or to my parents or whatever. And then the last listen all the way through, because I did start listening to it before we started recording. I didn't get all the way through though.
Have you done front to back in one sitting?
Yeah, I did that just the listening. My last listen before the one just before this podcast was when I like sat down and listened to the whole thing and like took my notes on each song as it came up.
Yeah.
My first couple listens were broken up into like 2 halves, like going to work and on the way back home from work. Definitely got a couple of full listens like on my longer drives, like if I go to see my parents.
Yeah, because it's not a super long album. It's only like
No, it's pretty short actually. I think it's
40
one of the
minutes,
shortest
yeah.
albums we've done. I really had a good time with it. It was a lot of like the whole album seems to have one theme of like love and stuff like that, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go more, I guess, into each individual song. So for now, I'll just be like 8.5 out of 10. That's my rating. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I'm not probably gonna go. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go like seek out his other stuff though, because
You never do.
I never do.
You never do.
Trevor hates music. That's the
I
underlying
don't
theme
hate
of this
music.
podcast.
I have my playlist of weird bullshit that I like that I add to when I find exceptional songs that I enjoy.
We will enlighten you one day.
Maybe.
I don't think we
The
will.
joys of listening to an album, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah, the fact that your only full listen was the last one is insane to me.
Well, I listen to I try to get full listens in,
No, I know.
and I got a full listen in my car on my way to my parents. I got like front to back in that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah,
of
I
them
mean
were
that's purely
halves.
just difference of lifestyle. I also don't have to commute, so I can sit here and listen to an album
Yeah.
on repeat for my entire workday and be uninterrupted. So privilege, I understand that.
Because I totally get it. Because I listen to this album all the time in the car, and I only do get halfway through it.
yeah.
The trip
You
to
need
work is not long
move
enough.
farther away. You need to move farther away.
No,
That's true. Now you're onto something.
gas prices are too high.
Dude, crazy. Although it finally dipped below $4 down here today, which is great. So I feel
Well, you should have told me that. Shit, I think I still paid for something at the one across the street from me.
It was
I didn't even-
$3.99 right next to tacos just now.
I was not even at half, and I still spent $40 filling up today.
It's insane. It just hit like 585 in California. I have a friend in Los Angeles, and he took a picture of it. I was like, holy fuck. Anyway,
And oil's
hit us,
only at
Cobb.
$99 a barrel, so it all makes sense.
Big sense.
Are we old?
Cobb hasn't done
Are we-
his section yet.
Wait, are we old though?
No.
Are we talking about gas prices because we're old?
No, it's
Talk
because
about
they're
gas prices
insanely
because
high.
it's also just it's life. You know?
And I need my money. Stop taking it, gas companies.
Please.
But yeah, no, I love this album so much. I do want to mention the 2 songs that got me into him was Corduroy Dreams, which is off his first mixtape, which is on Spotify. It's called
because you'll never be free.
Yeah, which is it's an interesting one. I think you'd like it, Will. It's all over the place, much more so than this album.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that song also has whistling in it because Will spoilerinoed a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Will.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a few songs with whistling on this album, but the one in particular that Cobb is referencing is the song called Untitled. It's track number 5, and I had a moment of weakness last week when I was in the throes of like pretty much mainlining this album for a couple days, and there's a lot of musical moments on this album that I really, really love, and one of them is the end of Untitled when they whistle as the song ends, or when he whistles or someone whistles, and it's like it's just beautiful, and B, it made me really realize that I like am an absolute sucker for whistling in music. And then I like posted about this song. I put it on Instagram and I asked for people to send me recommendations of songs with whistling in them because I just love whistling in songs. And I think I actually asked for a playlist. I didn't get any, unfortunately. I'm going to make my own. I'm going to make like a definitive whistling in music playlist.
That'll be a good one.
I've already got the first song picked out.
Untitled,
which I'm not going to spoil. No, it's not Untitled, but Untitled will definitely make an appearance. It's also tough because there's lots of whistling in rap that I feel like will really skew the playlist, so I have to be selective with that. So, but I already have a good handful of stuff in my head, and I just haven't done it yet because I've got sidetracked with other stuff. But but that's, I mean, to be fair, I only did it because you have precedent for doing it. You posted a Fleet Foxes song
while
we were doing
that was
Blues.
early on. You're right.
So I was like, I get him back for this one. Let him know that I at least am listening to it.
I just sent him the eyes emoji looking to the side.
I don't post anything, so I don't have this problem.
Yeah, Trevor only recently recovered his account from Russian hacker bots, so...
I thought they were trying to take it again, too, the other day.
They probably were. They were like, this dude's password is hella easy. Let's keep trying.
Trevor's hacked account was one of the leaders of the Freedom Convoy, actually, which was pretty crazy.
Have you watched that Channel 5 video?
I did. It was really good.
Oh my
it was
God,
really great.
So good. I'm so happy when I saw the hour runtime. Anyway.
It took me 2 sittings because I had to go to work.
I watched it when I think I was playing Tarkov, just doing scav runs, and I watched the whole thing. It was incredible. Just so good. Anyway.
But yeah, Corduroy Dreams, great song.
Okay.
And it's got great whistling at the end as well.
Cool.
I think it's the best song on that album. And then the other one was Lovin' Is Easy, which is a single, not on any of the albums. It was like a collaboration with Benny Sings. He's like a YouTuber.
Benny's cool.
Yeah, that song is so catchy. It's so great. Great music video too. It's like stop motion that they did. Really, really cool. Because he doesn't have many music videos.
I think Benny Sings is on Stone's Throw, I think, which is
really
the label that put out Mad Villainy.
That's pretty cool.
And an album that I'm bringing next week that I'm not going to remain nameless, but
spoilerino.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Anyway, I was curious about his stuff because I said I haven't looked into anything about his career or what people like, but obviously I've seen his Spotify page and like he's like got crazy listens on a lot of these songs, and a lot of them aren't from the album we listened to, which I always like. But I have notes on the one that is his most listened to on this album, but also I saw Loving Is Easy because it's like almost 400 million.
It's so good.
Listens.
It's so catchy. Me and Abby constantly have it stuck in our head.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm curious to see how his other stuff is. I don't know if I'm going to go forward from here or backward and then forward from here in terms of when his albums came out, but
I think you'll probably like his first way better than his next two.
Okay.
Also, that he just put out an album. Like
I was going to say, yeah, I forgot to lead with this. This was going to be my opening to the podcast, but like, are you secretly like a key member in the guerrilla marketing team for Rex Orange County? Because we were supposed to record this last week, the day before his new album came out,
and it would have been perfect. Changed. I would have gotten
it would have been perfect.
And instead, no cash.
You would have split the cash, right?
I did listen to it, and Tyler's on one of the tracks.
Yeah, I saw the single come out last week, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, is he dropping something new? And then he did.
Yeah, I listened to it. It was pretty good. I think it's better than the album before that, Pony. Okay. But I need to give it more listens because I've only given it one full listen. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, Apricot Princess, fantastic. I listened to it on repeat, 10 out of 10. The songs are constantly stuck in my head. I've been listening to it now for like 4 months straight, and I haven't been able to shake it. So
that's how you know. That's how you know.
It's just
that's how I've been with the album that I'm bringing next to. So, although that's been more like 15 years. But especially these last few months, it's been the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll stop talking about it, but I'm just excited to talk about it too. Should we do top tracks?
Yeah, let's do it. You guys start. Go for it.
Happy to. So I think my top 3, I want to say in no order. Top 2 in no order are definitely Untitled and Waiting Room.
Nice.
And I was stuck on those two since I started taking notes, and then I added in Nothing today to be the third. So those are definitely my top 2.
It's a good one. Good feature on that song.
Yeah, Marco McInnes, right? Really nice voice. That's the thing. Like, you hear a guy like that next to Rex, and he just his voice is so much better.
I love Rex's voice, though.
I think he has a unique voice.
Yeah.
He's got a cool timbre. There's like a weird kind of raspiness to it. And I think it shines in certain points more than it does in others. Like, I think the beginning of Apricot Princess, the song, is really nice. It's a bit more toned down and kind of reserved, and I like that. When he gets a bit more like shouty, I'm less enthused by it.
I just feel like for me, his voice sounds very real. You know, it's like it's not like a super like fixed up and auto-tuned and perfectionist voice. You know,
definitely this is the case. Yeah.
So I didn't notice there was another person singing on that song.
That is shocking.
I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, come on, it's Trevor.
Did you notice in Sycamore Girl? When
there was a girl? Yeah, I noticed that. Of course I noticed that. I even wrote that down. But I looked at my notes for nothing, and I didn't write anything about that.
That's
so
funny.
I don't think I noticed.
But you also don't think of people who are singing beyond the fact that it's a human. So, you know.
Your eyes roll back in your head. Your third eye opens. That was a human.
But yeah, those are my top 3. And should we do you want to do least favorites, or is that too negative of a tone?
No, you totally can.
You can, but I don't have one picked. So
okay.
I would love to hear it. I don't have one, but
yeah, I think. Let me just consult my notes real quick.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's Television, So Far So Good, which is the most listened to one on the album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I have some thoughts about that one, but we can get into it. There are things about it that I really like, but also I think the last song, Happiness, it feels too much like a last song on the album, which is probably my own issue. Like, I like the fact that an album feels like it has closure, but this one feels like it's trying a bit too hard to be like end on like a poignant note.
I mean, I think that's totally valid because, like, I was reading an interview that I forget what the magazine was called. It was some magazine that did an interview with him when this was coming out, and he was talking about. They were asking about the track list, and he was talking about how Happiness was like always gonna be the last song, so it makes sense that it feels very much like a last song. You know,
it does, and like in certain time, like obviously the last song on Helplessness Blues. Grown Ocean feels like a last song, but like that shit fucking slaps. Obviously, I'm biased there, but this one just feels like he's trying a bit too hard to stick the landing, and I think there are some more critiques that I have that are relevant to like it really does feel like he was trying to make like his big first album, because you're referring to the first one as a mixtape, right? So is this his first is this his debut technically? Like,
I guess so. It was still self-published, but I think this is what's considered his first album. The other one is.
There are definitely some moments that feel very first album-y. Which again, I understand that probably sounds like wildly snobby from somebody.
I don't think so.
But
you're the music guy in this group. I don't know anything.
Think it does.
I mean,
I don't know anything.
Will, how dare you be so snobby?
But yeah, so I'll reserve my specific thoughts about those songs for when we jump into more track analysis. But I have to go get my straw off the porch because it's nighttime and I forgot. But please, I don't really want to miss your top song, so I'm going to wait until after that.
We can take just a brief intermission, that if you can cut it out, Trevor, because I need to go get a new drink.
So Trev, give us your top
Okay,
tracks.
yeah, time for my top 3. Okay, so my number 1, Well, I did actually pick them in an order, but as with songs especially, I feel like these could swap depending on the day, mood, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Apricot Princess, the first track. I honestly really liked it. I thought it set up the whole album really well. The tonal changes that it has, but it's still really upbeat, are kind of nice. It starts out really slow, but then like it's nice and like, yeah, it's good. Number 2 is the second track, Television / So Far So Good, which is why I thought it was interesting that it was Will's least favorite. Because
I have my reasons.
That makes, I feel like that makes too much sense though between the two of us though.
It's not your favorite though, so we have some wiggle room.
No, it's not.
And like I said, there are parts that I like.
Yeah.
This has happened before anyway. I've done this too, where my favorite has been Will's least favorite.
Yeah.
On stuff he's
Will's the contrarian. So, you know.
Or are we?
Oh, you know what? That's fair.
No, in this case it's Will, because that has the most listens.
And then the number 3 for me is the 7th track, Waiting Room.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I also liked it. I don't remember why off the top of my head.
Right on.
But I did.
Nice.
I have a very
it's a banger.
I don't know if I've ever shown the audience my rating system for songs.
Don't show the audience.
Well, like how I keep track.
If people see that notebook, you're gonna get a knock on the door.
Let's see it.
Boom.
Nice and.
So what I do.
Nice and blown out.
I can't see a thing.
Can't see a thing.
If it'll show, is I start to draw a star. So each song that I like gets a little one line, and then as I go down, I will add lines to the star until the top one then gets the complete star. The second one.
I like it.
You're a funny guy, Trev.
Yeah, you're pretty much the Riddler from the Batman.
Put your Gimp mask back on.
Put the Gimp mask back.
Where is it?
Dude, I really want you guys to see it. I want to talk to somebody about it.
I want to see it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Do I keep my no theater run going? You know?
Why would you?
It's been a really long time.
If I'm back in theaters, I feel like you should be. I was like,
I almost texted you to go watch it today because I wasn't really doing much today.
You guys should go see it tomorrow. A daytime showing. It wasn't like I went at 3:30 on a Wednesday and it was like maybe a quarter full.
I need to be prepared for tomorrow. I don't think I'll have time to go. I got prep work to do before you guys show up for D&D.
Will's pissed. But
anyway, what are your top tracks? Wait, do you have a least favorite track, Trevor?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I said that when you said that you had a least favorite. I said I don't have one. So
just making sure.
Yeah, no, I don't. I liked them all pretty well. A nice. Oh wait. Oh crap. Did I mess this up? I did. I forgot about track number 9, Never Enough. That was actually my second favorite. And then my third favorite was Television.
So
Forget Waiting Room.
Was
it was the fourth.
Wow,
it was the fourth.
He actually marked Waiting Room because it was his least favorite.
That's funny.
I was really wondering why my third favorite only had one line, and that's why.
Never Enough and is one of 2 songs that have no notes from me, so I can't really remember that off the top of my head. But
I liked Never Enough as my second, I think, because it had a little bit of like a pop punk kind of vibe to it almost.
Yeah, it was the one that has like the up-tempo rock music, and then it changes to like synths and drum tracks, and then goes back into the rock for the chorus.
It does. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. Okay. I just listened. Yeah. I just turned it on. It reminds me of there's a band called Tokyo Police Club that I listened to a lot when I was a sophomore in high school. And
I thought you were going to say name. Tokyo Hotel, dude, and I was like, whoa.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, different band.
Okay, no. It reminds me a lot of this band called Tokyo Police Club, who, yeah, I listen to a lot. That song in particular, but also I think his voice in a lot of the album sounds like that lead singer. That's a band I haven't listened to in probably 10 years, maybe more. Definitely more, 15 years, but... Yeah, sorry. Anyway, sidetracked.
No, you're good. I really love this album as a whole. So I've never like picked out tracks really.
There isn't one that you like have on your playlist, like other than.
No, I haven't actually. Singles? I haven't separated this album at all on playlists. I just whenever I want to listen to it, I just listen to the whole album. But For top tracks, I'll go in no particular order. Apricot Princess, Untitled, and Sycamore Girl. I'll go with those ones.
That's also the Sycamore Girl is the other song I have no notes on.
Really? You didn't like the other singer on there?
I do. It's just one of the ones that I feel like didn't stick out to me as much as the rest.
I think that song is interesting.
Things to say.
Because like that song, the other girl was his girlfriend at the time, who like this album is about, and that's like the only one she collaborated with him on. So I feel like it's kind of an interesting track because of that. But
yeah, I didn't know any of that, so good to know for moving forward.
You're like,
now it's one of his favorites.
No, I don't even remember what it sounds like, to be honest with you, off the top of my head. Let me see.
He's gonna play it for a sec. The audience will get nothing.
Yeah,
audience will get nothing because copyright.
It's good. So, do either of y'all have a place you'd like to start with, like, random scattered thoughts?
I mean, even with like the first track, if we're gonna talk about Apricot Princess, the like 50-second to minute long instrumental intro is amazing with the fucking gong in the background.
That's
so
good.
The kind of stuff that I'm talking about with like his instrumentals, like his instrumental, his production, his instrument choice. Like, there's a lot of really interesting and I already used the word varied, but like he's pulling from tons of shit. Like, there's samba in Waiting Room. There's like you guys mentioned, like pop punk, like upbeat shit.
Yeah.
There are some choices I like less, like the kind of shout-along-y type of choruses he has in a few songs, which I don't really like. There's a 45-second saxophone solo song.
You didn't love it?
I love it. No,
I was gonna say that's one of the.
I passed out.
No,
when I found my second favorite song, I was actually trying to turn back to look at the track because I wanted to do a special shout out to Rain Man, which is that
I
one.
love Rain Man. The saxophone is gorgeous,
Scared me,
and
dude.
it's over way too soon.
You know I love a good instrumental.
Yeah, dude. No, of course, that's my jam. I was so pleasantly surprised to hear that. So I guess I'll just briefly touch on. I think the biggest reason that I dock him for the singing and songwriting, and this is 100% a personal thing. And a lot of it is rooted in probably like very immature opinions from as a kid being like a dude who was obsessed with rap and like a scholar of the genre and all this type of bullshit that I probably would have said when I was in high school or like early college. But I have a thing about people who aren't rappers rapping. I fucking hate it. And he raps in multiple songs and it's bullshit. It's a double standard because I love when rappers sing. I understand this. Like, it's total bullshit for me to say this, but I hate it. I can't get with it. And I fucking hate when he raps. And he raps on Television So Far So Good, which is why I don't like that song. Despite the fact that it has probably the best line on the whole album, which I'll circle back to.
With the last line?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great line.
It's amazing. And I'm like, why did he have to ruin it by rapping?
I do agree with you. I don't like his rapping.
It sucks.
But
it sucks.
On this album, I don't think it's as bad as some of his other albums.
Oh, no. He raps more on other albums?
Really just on, like, his mixtape. Because it's all over the place. You just need to listen to it. Just listen to it.
So,
okay, I will.
To me, it felt like the least music knowledgeable person on this podcast. It felt less like him rapping and more like him just doing, like, which I guess could be considered rapping, I guess, but like spoken word lyrics, I guess.
Yeah.
There are certain times where it does feel more spoken wordy, but on Television So Far So Good in particular, he is rapping. Like, that's
okay.
rap.
To me, sure. I never really got like, he's trying, because like there's even country songs where I've like listened and I'm like, why are you trying to rap on a country song?
Track.
They're trying.
Show me that.
No.
Okay, I'll have to. I forget the song off the top of my head, but there's one that stands out.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
There's
a lot of pop country, I feel like, leans really heavily on them just like talking their words when it's like actually just rap for people who hate black people.
Yeah. But, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna say yeah on that.
You already did. You agreed.
I'm sorry. That's obviously like I'm being.
It's an exaggeration.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but
Okay.
like, it's rap for people who like, oh, I hate rap, but I love this song. It's like, bro,
So-
he's rapping.
But because like that's what I've heard more of, I guess, in a sense, because like if I turn on the radio, which I don't do much anymore,
Yeah, but that's
it's
what's
a country station is what I'm listening to.
There's one I think I know the song you're talking about, and it's like, it's so bad. He drops like a fried chicken restaurant in it. It's
That's
about like
awesome.
KFC or something.
There's definitely a Florida Georgia Line song that they try
Don't
to
they
rap in
always
at
rap?
one point.
Florida Georgia line?
Regardless,
Regardless, we're off track. But yeah,
that's why I didn't. That's I like some of Florida Georgia Line songs.
I hate country music, man.
Regardless, I don't want to taint this anymore. That's why I didn't think of any of like what he was doing as like a guy trying to rap. It was like, oh, he's doing like a spoken word thing. That's kind of cool.
that's fair.
So
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the parts like he caps. I think it's the first and the last verse on that song with like the first verse ends with "If I could just be happy by the end of this song," and then the last verse and the last line of the song are "I want the crowd in tears when they hear this. Is that so wrong?" Like that.
I love that line.
I love that. It's so good, and I just wish that the song itself was better because it deserves that line deserves a better song.
Well, that's
but
why I do think that song, I think So Far So Good is a better half than Television.
Does he rap? Do we know what half he raps in?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. But like again, that also So Far So Good. No, I think it's nothing that I'm thinking of. But there's one song that ends in kind of an instrumental outro that sounds like it could have been left on the cutting room floor of the late registration sessions. Like it's got the same kind of like organy synthesizer type sound and some strings come in. I think it might be the end of Nothing actually. But it sounds exactly like late registration. And a lot of the instrumentation here when he uses string sections and that particular synth voice that I don't know the name of. When I say lush, like the first thing that comes to mind is a lot of late registration. So yeah, anyway, I just wish he wouldn't rap. I really wish he wouldn't rap. This would probably be like closer to a 9 if he didn't. That's an exaggeration. It would be an 8.5 if he didn't rap. But
What did you give it?
I fucking hate it. An 8.
Oh, okay. I was like,
It would get at least a half a point more if he
Gotcha.
didn't rap.
that's fair enough.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I'll let one of y'all take notes now. I have more obviously, but I don't want to jeopardize or monopolize the.
I more wanted to speak to the fact like that all these songs have like different. I was expecting them like when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, all of these are about being in a relationship and being in love.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be more of a story, like through a relationship. Like, oh, this song's like the start, and then this next song is kind of the start, and then the progression through and to either an inevitable sad end or an inevitable like. I feel like the last song on here is like a proposal almost, like for the rest of the light. Like it's a little bit up in the air.
They're not together anymore.
Well, that sucks, but
So
he literally says proposal, and like the aspects around the song feel proposed like, but it definitely jumps around. I feel like with each song to different parts of a relationship. As the one person on this podcast who is single and has been for the longest, I feel like I'm the most qualified to talk about this.
the most qualified to talk about a relationship?
Yeah.
How do you figure?
Well, I think
I'm not. That's why that's the joke. I'm not.
Okay.
But
to be honest though, I think there's an aspect of like longing. I feel like in a lot of these songs.
oh
where
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Some of them don't really feel like he's in a relationship, but more so that he's just like in love with somebody from afar.
He's either in love with them from afar, or it's like the process of asking out and then first date kind of thing. But then other aspects are like feel way deeper in a relationship. From what I remember back in high school, the last time I was in a long-term one.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of cool though. I do enjoy this album having a very almost single theme of love.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
I
a love
liked
album
that.
for sure. It's definitely
sure.
a love album.
and
And it's fun.
And it's interesting that he picks, at least for me as the person, like from my preconceptions of expecting a story of a relationship from start to finish, that the first song seems to be very much about an established relationship. Like they've been in it for a little while.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
To me.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Know. This is what I like. You guys actually go into the like musical aspects, and I'm like lyrics.
You're always talking about the lyrics.
Lyrics is half the shit. Trevor.
I know
that's important. I mean, I think for me, and I think I've probably talked about it before, but like lyrics are oftentimes the last thing that hits me about music. Like I'm way more. It's way easier for me to appreciate the music itself before the songwriting a lot of the time, and I don't know why that is. Coming from somebody who is primarily listened to a very lyric heavy genre for his entire life.
I feel like that's just the way your mind works though, because I mean you make beats, you make instrumental music, so
shout out Craft Beats.
Yeah,
thanks.
Created our opening intro song, just to in case anyone didn't know that, by the way.
I'm on all platforms. Check me out. SoundCloud has my older shit. Streaming stuff has my newer stuff.
Kanye stole his album art.
Kanye stole, in my intellectual property.
Real quick, my favorite song is "Let the Beats Yell" from you. That's my favorite one.
Thanks,
That's on my mix of like all my like songs that I pick out from my personal mix.
Damn, you made it on his weeb playlist, bro.
You did. You made it on the Weird Shit playlist.
Get me those listens from that demographic, man. I'll take anything I can get. No, but I forgot what I was gonna say. I lost it.
To move on to the next track, one of my notes for Nothing was Marco McKinnis feature is essential to my soul. It's just an amazing feature. His voice is so fucking good. I really need to listen to more of his music because I haven't. I didn't even really like look him up until today when I was like finally taking notes.
Does he have albums and stuff?
He does have some work, like solo stuff. I didn't really look into it that much, but I mean, he's got a Spotify
Oh my
page.
God.
He's got some
There's
EPs.
a song. I know him, and I didn't know I knew him until right now. He has a song called "How I Feel" that I have been listening to for years now. It is fucking incredible. So shout out to the song "How I Feel" by Marco McKinnis. That's so cool. It's the same guy. I had no idea. I'll need to listen to him too because his voice is incredible. Yeah, Nothing. That song, like I got into a full body experience type of zone with that song earlier today. Like I just closed my eyes. I was working and then it came on. Yeah. And I just shut down because it's just so beautiful. Also a thing that he does, and sorry I'm sidetracking myself, but there's the thing that he does throughout the album where he starts almost every song, I feel like, with at least 15 to 30 seconds of just the instrumental before he starts singing, to the point where it fakes me out. I'll start singing before he actually starts singing, which is the case on this song. But the bass line in particular is incredible. And he's got a weird kind of xylophone or bell type of thing. And the note I have in particular, though, is on the line, I think it's the second line of the song. It's "In my room it all changed," when he kind of goes up and then descends on the melody. That shit is just so good. It's just so good. That part of the album, more so than probably anything else, has been stuck in my head the most while listening to it. Just that one little line.
It's a fantastic start to that song, though.
Yeah, it's
when we first spent
I
the
wish
night,
I could sing.
in my room it all changed. It's just nice.
Yeah.
So I want to defend myself real quick.
Yeah.
From earlier where I said I didn't realize the second person sang on this song.
What a bastard.
I listened to it again and it's very obvious.
Of course it is.
That's not defending yourself. That's making it worse for you.
It's incredibly obvious that it's a different person.
Yeah, he's got a completely
he's got a very good voice.
Yeah.
But I think they both have good voices. So
yeah. How I Feel is very good. Listen to that.
But, Trevor's I would never fucking listen to any other music unless I'm forced to.
It's not a well, hey, okay, listen. You guys probably wouldn't have watched most of the animes I bring unless I forced you to.
You're not wrong.
That's a fucking definite.
You're not wrong.
So that's kind of the whole point of this podcast, is us forcing each other to watch things that we love.
Yeah, it's the
That
best.
makes it sound so much harsher. Forcing
I
each
mean,
other.
but it is though, and
That is what it is.
It is the best podcast concept that's ever been created. So fuck everyone else.
Hey, cheers, Jacob.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cheers, Jacob.
I do want to say, I really, just to finish off the song, I really love the line, "Say something that can ease my pain."
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great part of that song.
Yeah.
It's so slow. He just wants something to ease his pain, man.
Yeah, he's a really. I mean, he's a very good songwriter. I do think I'm curious to see how that evolves over his career, and I also want to look up more of the collaborative work that he's done, like specifically, like I know he's worked with Tyler on his last few albums, but I want to know like exactly what songs, and also like is he writing with him or is he just making the beats? Yeah, he's a really talented dude, and he's got a lot going on. I'm excited to hear his other stuff. It's been pretty hard not to listen to any of it this last week because I really wanted to, especially with him releasing a brand new album, but I'll go on a deep dive and I'll come back next week before.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what you think about his other stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Did you guys want to talk about Sycamore Girl? You didn't really have much to say, right?
I've got nothing, but y'all can go for it if you want to.
I mean, I just more for like each song have like most of my notes are in relation to what I feel the lyrics are talking about, so I don't really have a ton to say for each thing.
But that's valid though.
I mean, Untitled is I think a really standout track on this album. It is like the only one that got that he made a music video for too, which I watched it for the first time today.
Is it good?
It was pretty good, yeah. It's very low budget, but it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. He looks so fucking young in it because he was incredibly young. He just looks like a little boy. He was, I guess, when did this come out? 2017. He would have been like 18 or 19 at the time. He's pretty young.
That's pretty, like, for this dude to be 18 or 19, it's pretty fucking impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
And sorry, just a quick note about music videos, Trev. I'll be quick, I promise.
Go.
I meant to look up his music videos because I think audiovisual presentation is a really underrated aspect of people's music careers. And when people make good music videos, it just like is a whole new world, you know? Yeah. Like it does so much to elevate their art. Like Earl obviously has like some really phenomenal music videos throughout his career. Mm-hmm. And I meant to look them up. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I meant to look them up today, but I forgot. So it's good to know he has some at least.
There's not very many, yeah.
No, you're 100% correct. Like that's how 90% of the songs on my playlist get added is if I see a music video, because I feel like I don't appreciate the music in the same way as you guys, where most of the time when I'm listening back to a song, I'm thinking, like, I'm basically rewatching the music video that I saw, whether it was the official one or something somebody else made, back in my head, and that's what I'm more reliving.
Yeah.
Than
AMVs? You like AMVs?
Yeah, some.
There's
a lot of them are bad. A lot of them are good.
Ones,
some of them are really good, but
the
a
one
lot
with
of
the
them
Cowboy Bebop movie is my favorite.
I haven't. Maybe I've seen that one.
I'll try and find it. It's really great.
There's some like really good ones, and there's other ones where I'm just like, I've watched a lot of bad ones.
I'm sure, yeah.
Through going to conventions, because there's like competitions for AMVs and stuff like that at some of these conventions. I almost made one for the song "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy" in the comedy category. But I couldn't find enough clips of tractors in anime to make it work.
Everyone, please just note the timestamp right now and go to our YouTube and just watch Jacob's reaction for when Trevor says what he just said. It's worth it. You don't have to watch the whole thing in video, but that moment is good. Maybe we can clip it for the Instagram. But that was great.
Anyways.
Wait, who sings that song, Trevor? Give them a shout out.
That would be...
You don't know that song, Will?
Fuck no, I don't know that song. Look at me.
I'm blanking.
Tractor sexy.
I'm blanking on
you don't
the
need
artist.
to sing it for me.
I'm blanking on the artist. I'm so upset that I'm...
Alan Jackson.
Yes.
Is it?
Is it really?
Oh, wait, I thought you looked it up.
No.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's Kenny Chesney.
Oh, okay.
It's also
That would have been a
is,
slam dunk if I'd gotten it right.
It is Kenny Chesney.
It's bullshit because like there's a lot of really awesome country from like 30 to 40 years ago.
There is.
And all of it now is just such utter fucking dog shit.
That's an old song though. It's like
Okay, wait, back to the album.
But
Hold
Kenny
on.
Chesney's an asshole, right? Like people don't like Kenny Chesney.
I like Kenny Chesney.
Trevor.
Well, I guess you're an asshole, Trevor.
Was that
Could
not
be
enough?
further.
Okay, hold
could
on.
Be further
To
from
talk
the-
about
from the
waiting
truth.
room.
Wait, hold on. I want to get back to what I was trying to say originally
please,
about
please.
Untitled.
Oh.
This is the one song where I felt like there was almost like all the rest of it is about like the ups and maybe some of the like mild turbulations with the relationship. This one I felt like had like him talking about cheating in it. Like it was the standout one where it was like he cheated on the girl or whatever and like trying to come back from that possibly. So that was why it stood out to me a little bit. It was like more of a like the rest of it is somber. Well, there's a lot of somber songs on this, but this one was almost like a regret type thing lyric wise to me anyways. I could be totally off base.
Whistling is also like it can be really sad. Like
Yeah.
I love a good sad whistle, and this one does feel particularly downbeat and kind of. I mean, I think somber is the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
this is good.
That was the one standout thing for that song for me was that it like
that's fair.
was kind of like this very sad aspects of like he fucked up the relationship somehow through cheating or something along those lines or some mistake he made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we jump to Waiting Room, just my one note on Four Seasons, which is another song where he raps.
He
so I'm
does.
not gonna talk-
Are you
I'm not
telling
gonna
me you
talk
don't
about
like
it.
the line, she stay behind the bar at work, so I'm getting Red Bull for free? That's a
No,
great.
I hate
That's
it.
pretty
That's a
good.
great
She's rapping.
line.
That's a great line. That's the one that stands out the most.
There is a good line in the song though when he's singing, and it's even though I'm a walking emotion, which I relate to very much.
That's nice.
because I'm a highly emotional person.
Yeah.
And that's great. But yeah, his rapping is terrible.
What about the?
And then he like gives a huge dagger to snapback hats, which is like it seems pretty uncalled for. He's like, back then when I used to wear a snapback,
Oh,
but
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
that. It's like, come on, bro, leave hats alone. What the fuck they do to you?
What about the line? I'll find a spot
really
that's
wear
just for me and
hats.
see if I can cope without an ounce of pain.
He sings that, right?
He sings it.
Then yes, I like it.
That was part of like the chorus at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shouldn't have told him, Jacob. You should have just made him like.
No, because I can hear him singing that line in my head. Yeah, Four Seasons is fine, but again, it's one of the worst songs because he raps on it. So
There's 3 tone changes in that song from what I picked up on.
yeah,
But
because
Yeah,
he
sorry, I
sings
think
then
you're right,
raps
yeah.
then sings, right?
that's
So,
one of my few things.
Yeah,
It's
A
also,
bunch of his songs do that.
It
Yeah.
seems like maybe it's also kind of a breakup song, possibly.
Maybe.
Lyric-wise, anyways.
yeah.
Maybe
I don't
I don't. I don't think they. I think in real life, I think they were together throughout the making of this album.
Probably, but I'm just saying,
Like
like,
he was living with her in London apparently at the
Listen,
time when it came out.
these are what my notes
I
say.
know your notes are great. I only know this because I read some sort of article.
Yeah. Okay, so Waiting Room, which the more I think about it is probably my favorite song on the album.
Damn.
It's like absolutely incredible. So this is the one that I talked about earlier with like the samba. So that type of the drum beat that they're playing is like it's a historically Brazilian rhythm. So that's great. Love that. I love Brazilian music. It's got like a nice guitar. It like does actually sound like waiting room music, and I'm a huge sucker for like a title matching the energy of the song, which I feel like is kind of not a lost art but an underrated art. I love like being able to visualize a song based on the title of it. That's huge. And then this is probably getting maybe a little too technical, but the part of the song at which the filter opens up, and so like in the first like 30 to 45 seconds, the drums are like very kind of muted, and the highs of the track are kind of cut out, and the lows of the track are kind of cut out. And then when he says, "I'm just the boy you love," they like open the filter up, and you get all the highs and lows back, and like the drums actually start to kick, and you get some more like layers in the instrumentation. just like fucks me up every single time. There's whistling in the background. There's lots of good like diegetic sound almost. Like I think this is the song that has kind of like some kind of rain or something in the background. I could be mixing it with something else I haven't listened to lately. I am.
I think you're right. I think you're correct.
There's a lot. But the biggest note of this is that only a few songs have other people credited on them on this album. And this is one of them in terms of either the writing or the production. And it's a guy named Michael Uzowaru, I think, who also goes by Uzi, is co-producer on this song. And I forgot to pull up his Wikipedia page because I'm bad at doing podcasts, but you'll be happy to know, Jacob, that this is a man who should be relatively familiar to you, as he's produced a ton of shit that we both love.
Oh.
He produced the intro on Doris.
Nice.
Damn.
Great track.
He did Nights by Frank Ocean.
Okay, nice.
Off of Blonde, and also Rushes 2 off of Endless. And he did the Frank Ocean song Chanel, which, if you don't know, one of his best songs for me. He did work on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Oh, the Kendrick Lamar album?
Yes. No, Wakanda Remixed, it's called.
Oh, I'm thinking,
which I think,
because Kendrick came out with the
Black Panther like companion album.
Yeah.
No, different.
Okay.
He made some stuff on the Beyonce Lion King soundtrack. He's worked pretty closely with Childish Gambino throughout his whole career.
Nice. Still waiting on the album.
Same.
I'm
and
dying
then
inside.
Yeah, me
most
too.
importantly for me, I don't know if this hits for you, but there's a Frank Ocean single from a couple years ago called "In My Room," which
I don't know if I know that one.
Is just so fucking good, and he produced that one too.
I know the bicycle one with Jay-Z.
Yeah, biking.
Biking,
Tyler.
yeah.
There's a Tyler verse on there too.
Yeah. I just hate the Jay-Z part.
Yeah, Jay-Z's he's just too old now. He's too old and too rich.
Damn.
Jay-Z's wonderful.
Just calling him out.
Obviously, I am like, again, student of rap. Like, he's made some of the most
you have
important
to
rap
like
music
him,
of all
man.
time. I do, and I'm from New York, so like it's doubly so.
Empire State of Mind, am I right?
Fuck that song.
What?
Horrible song. Fuck that. Even though I saw him on that tour, it's a horrible song. But Jay-Z hasn't made good music in a while. So that verse is bad. But Biking solo with just Frank on it is the better version.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Agreed.
So
Dad.
I didn't know this, that he had a co-production credit on it until today.
I didn't know.
It was already my favorite song on the album, or one of my favorite songs. And then I was like, holy shit, of course. It's this dude who has like a lot of my favorite songs the last 5 years, 10 years on his I mean, Nights is probably the best Frank Ocean song. Like, it's up there for me. And In My Room is also up there for me. So I was like, that's really cool. But yeah, this song is just, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice. Does anybody have any wrap-up thoughts on any of the other songs?
Yeah, we already hit Rain
We've
Man,
hit pretty
Never
much
Enough, and
everything, yeah.
Happiness.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we kind of talked about Never Enough
Trev Bone?
as well.
This is getting kind of a long one. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this so much.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
it was
able
a
to
good
really
time.
talk about it a lot, which is great.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Like, love Rain Man's little jazz thing. Never Enough was a great pop punk kind of vibe kind of song, which is more my jam than anything else on this.
It was unfortunate it wasn't Celtic punk, but you know.
I have listening because it's St. Patty's Day, but also because it's on my playlist. I have definitely skipped to a lot of my Celtic punk songs for today, especially. Like
Trevor's
when I was
wearing
like,
a kilt right now.
I'm not. I'm wearing jeans as always, but
As always.
I got my green.
All right,
And,
let's wrap
I'm
her
drunk.
up.
So
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to my album. I'm looking forward to your pick, Will.
Same.
Start spinning that soon.
Have you guys started my pick yet?
No, I have not.
I don't remember what your pick is.
You do.
We'll remind you afterwards. But yeah, make sure you guys follow us
I do.
on Instagram
I knew you would.
at @Harbor_Boys and on YouTube to catch the video to see the cats in the background at youtube.com/c/the Harbor Boys and anywhere else you get podcasts. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you all for listening
Thanks for
so
listening.
much.
Yeah, we'll catch you next
We
time.
love you.
Peace.
Bye everyone.